Hello everybody, the stream has changed. We're just chatting, and how is everyone? Because right now it is a Thursday and it is 3:40 p.m. at the moment. It's a Thursday, but it feels like a Saturday because like my days are so fucking screwed. Yesterday I spent the whole day playing Knights of the Old Republic when I was supposed to be editing. Well, not supposed to be editing. Technically, I'm ahead of schedule with YouTube. But for some reason, I feel guilty when I have a break. And so yesterday when I was playing Knights of the Old Republic 2, I was like, fuck, I should be editing, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. But I have this like kind of unhealthy, I guess, relationship with my work, and I really try to switch off. But you know, I mentioned it on my community tab where I was like, hey guys, like stop asking me everywhere where things are, they're coming. Just be patient. And a lot of you guys were so supportive and understanding with that, so I do have to thank everyone that was so nice and responded really well to me kind of saying, hey, I'm here, I'm doing it, I'm like, I'm okay, I'm doing it at my own pace, I haven't forgotten, I'm just doing 5 million things at once. Wow, 4:40 in the UK. Holy shit, Michael. In the morning or in the afternoon? 11:40. That's an okay time. Yeah. It's this weird thing when you're creative because you love what you do. And if you have a following, you know that people are waiting for you as well. And obviously I appreciate and love everybody that follows me and supports me, but then there are like a very small minority that will find me on every platform and, you know, kind of make me feel like I'm not performing, even though I post 3 videos a week plus stream and upload my streams on YouTube. And technically I do a lot of work, but they make me feel like I don't do a lot of work and that I need to keep working to get that video that they want out there because it's been a while for them. Like, for example, it's been a week and a half since my last MCU video. And so, which is technically not long at all, but it seems long. I don't know, it must seem, because we're used to this world where everything just happens so fast. We're ready to just, after we see one thing, we're ready for the next thing, and we're constantly forced to be made available on everything. You don't really have that break, or you don't really have that space, I suppose. So that's where I was trying to come from when I made that post. But still, like, a lot of I still get questions on like, hey, have you given up on MCU? And I'm like, no, dude, I haven't given up on MCU. I'm just trying to swim as fast as I can. Yeah. I will do some research on streaming KOTOR 2. Yeah, everyone's used to binge watching. I think because a lot of the shows that I watch, like Avatar, The Mandalorian, MCU, everything's already out. Everything is like there. So everyone's watched it so many times. And so I'm already kind of late to the bandwagon. They expect me to catch up or something. I don't know. But like, I was talking to my moderator recently and I was like, I love Twitch because it's just so chill. At the moment it's really chill for me. I really love this new world that I have entered with gaming because it transports me, it takes me out of that negative headspace, and I feel like I am in that world. And even though I die a lot in Red Dead Redemption, and even though like I'm technically not good because, I got this PC like probably 3 weeks ago, and I started playing games 8 days ago. Well, yeah, about a week and a half ago. So I'm not great. I'm certainly not great, but it's like an escapism in a way. Yeah, so yeah, that's where I was getting, and you guys are just so lovely because you came through with amazing comments, with so much love and so much support, and I just really wanted to come on here and say thank you, just thank you from the bottom of my heart, because once I posted that and I received the feedback, I was like, wow, like these people don't want me to work myself to death. They're actually here for me. They're here, they understand, and it is the minority, and I just have to keep thinking, I have to keep reminding myself that it is the minority, and the majority are amazing, and that really showed when I posted. Sorry, I went on a bit of not a rant, but I kind of went off on a tangent. I killed a cat on my Red Dead Redemption stream, and it was very depressing and sad because I fucking love cats and I didn't mean to. Welcome, friends. Welcome, popularity_77. I totally agree. I think at the end of the day, we just have to do our best. We have to do our best. We're all just human beings at the end of the day, and you just have to remind yourself that you're doing your best, and fuck those weirdos that just sit around all day waiting for you to post their video that they want. So I had a dream last night that I died and I went to heaven. But it was weird because when I was kind of in the medium place, or in the... I think it's because I've been watching this show on Netflix called Disenchantment, and the last episode I watched last night before I went to sleep was about Elfo. And I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but does everyone mind? Disenchantment is like this cartoon that Matt Groening made, and I'm up to season 2, but basically I won't spoil it, but in this particular episode, they go to heaven and hell, so that's the episode I watched before I went to sleep. And then I had a dream where I died and I went to heaven, but there was like this medium place that I went to first, and it had all of my family members, and they were actually alive. All my family members were alive, and they were in this one room that looked like a very familiar room to me, like maybe I had been in that kind of house or space when I was younger or something. Everyone was there, and they were like kind of saying their goodbyes to me, and then they had to go back to Earth, but first they were able to say goodbye to me in this medium place, and they were like, you need to do this and this and this to get to heaven, and so I was like, okay, fine, I'll do all of these things. And then I did all of these things and I went to heaven, and like, because when you go to heaven, you can, even though you think all of your family members, hi Kevin Toy, even though you think all of your family members are still living in Earth, because you're in heaven, somehow time passes and you're with your family. It's weird. There's some kind of weird time difference in heaven and hell and the afterlife and things. But anyway, I was in heaven, and it was a beach. It was literally a beach, and I was lying down. There was a beautiful sunset, and I was just lying down. And the weird thing about heaven was, if you drown in the water, you feel being drowned, but you can never die. So anything that happens to you, you can feel it, but you just don't die. So that was what my dream was, and I don't know what it means. I don't know if it was influenced by disenchantment, probably, but then all of the extra bits, like there's these details that I remember. That was definitely not influenced by disenchantment at all. So I have no freaking idea what it means, but it was weird. It was definitely weird. It shook me. And I woke up, and also I should mention, I slept at around 1 a.m. last night, and I got up every single hour. I got up every single hour. My dad used to say in the afterlife, you just become God in a different universe. That's interesting. Yeah, probably should stop watching weird animations before bed. It's weird because the main character from Disenchantment is Abby Jacobson. She played Abby in Broad City, and so, you know, I love her from that. And I feel like her character in Disenchantment is so similar to her character in Broad City, almost like she's been typecasted and this is like the roles that she is going to get now. You should watch the movie What Dreams May Come. That movie is an interesting take on the afterlife. Interesting. I've watched The Good Place. I really love The Good Place.
Welcome, friend.
Welcome, Darkness Lord 28. Thank you for joining the stream.
Welcome, friend.
Welcome, S Sheepy. Heaven means you can eat wings and not get a big tummy. For me, what is heaven? Heaven, I think for me would just be, I don't know, I can't really imagine what it'd be like, but obviously I had an idea that it was a beach and a sunset. So if it's anything like that, then I'd be happy. I also think the idea of living forever in an afterlife would get quite tiring. If you watch The Good Place, they kind of explore that, and I won't spoil it for anyone, but basically they explore that idea of immortality and living forever, and what kind of impact that has on the beings. Like wouldn't you get bored of living forever? Wouldn't you run out of things to do? So I thought that was really interesting. And although The Good Place is a comedy and it's really funny, I think that it does talk about some really interesting themes. Reincarnation, I'm not too sure. I'm really not too sure. Yeah, I have some of my friends are married and pregnant, or some of my friends are like married with a kid, or like, what else? I just have like, I don't know. One of my closest friends is like into photography and the beach and traveling and nothing. She's like very girly. So like I couldn't imagine playing with her. And none of my friends really know each other. I have like individual friends, and they've never met each other. So it's kind of weird because I don't have a squad. I just have like friends from all over the place. No, I don't want to play just Among Us. I don't want to play that. Well, I like them because if you watch Game of Thrones, it starts off as a medieval, family-orientated show. So really it gets into the White Walker stuff. Yeah, there's White Walkers in this first season for sure, but it's not huge until a few seasons later. And Game of Thrones is very diverse in its themes. It's not a zombie. I wouldn't explain it as a zombie show. It's a family show. It's a political drama. It's very strategic. There are all of these different characters and families. So I didn't mind them at all. And also they weren't typical looking. Like the White Walkers looked fucking amazing with their makeup and it looked sick. of course I didn't like the Army of the Dead though. It was very bad in the end. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm just looking at my Discord chat. And people are posting cat photos because I killed a cat on Discord, sadly. I'm still so sad about that. Yeah, so COVID is welcome, Messiah. COVID is an interesting one in Australia because when you compare us to the rest of the world, we're actually doing quite well, but our government is it's like they police our rights quite a lot there. We have a very, very, very strict government. So basically Melbourne, the state of Melbourne, Victoria, sorry, not the state of Melbourne, Melbourne's the city, the state of Victoria was in lockdown for 3 months. Okay, they were in lockdown for 3 months. Melbourne is pretty much south of New South Wales where I live, and so it was quite close to us where the second outbreak of COVID happened, and it still wasn't as bad as Europe or or America. Like, we've definitely not had as many deaths as America. And but still, it's been insane how strict and what the Victorians had to go through. 3 months in isolation, in complete lockdown state. If you were to go outside and, over 5 kilometers outside your house, you would literally be fined, you would have a huge fine, which I think is absolutely unnecessary. Like, my ex-boss's husband, and she has a house in Melbourne, and they haven't seen each other in months, because if you go to Melbourne or Victoria or wherever, you have to pay for a hotel, not a motel, and it has to be a hotel of their choice. So you're paying $3,000 to quarantine yourself for 2 weeks, which is, by law, you have to do that. So for them, and they're married, one lives in New South Wales, one lives in Victoria. Like, each time they'd see each other, they'd have to pay $6,000 each way. Like, $6,000 quarantining in Melbourne, that's $3,000 in Melbourne. And then if she wanted to come back, another $3,000 in New South Wales. And it was just insane. It's not something that people can afford. So people haven't seen each other's family members, their husbands, their wives, their girlfriends, their boyfriends for fucking ages. And it's insane because no one can afford quarantining themselves in a $3,000 hotel that the government chooses for them in order to see their family members. It just, we've been dealing with the cases quite well because we have a free healthcare system here. So everyone is getting tested as they should. But then we also have very strict policing of this whole thing, and it's very, very intense. Only recently, last few days, Victorians have been given a bit of their freedom back. So it was huge news over here in Australia. And it's so crazy because everyone thinks that there are loads of dangerous animals in Australia, but I have literally like never been poisoned before, or like nothing bad has ever happened to me in terms of like with animals. So yeah. Oh my god, I have 1,000 followers on Twitch. Can we spam an emote right now, because that is fucking amazing. Thank you all for following. Thank you so much. Yay, thanks. Thank you. 1,000 followers, that's pretty fucking huge, especially because when did I start this? I started this Twitch account like a week and a half ago, so that's amazing. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. And hopefully the more I stream, the more I'll be able to add more emotes, because over on Discord we have so many emotes made by my Discord mod Virginta, who has been an absolute like gem, an absolute king at creating all of these emotes. I don't know how he did it, because I was not behind a green screen, so I can imagine it was quite hard. But there is like an amazing emote that he made that only pops up now when yes, that one. So that only pops up when someone follows, and then there will be another one.
Thank you, Cherry Much.
Thank you, Cherry Much. That one, that particular one right now that's on screen, that one was really hard to do. So can we just give it up for Virginta for making that, because that's amazing. And also thank you jbenz1199 for the subscription. Thank you so much. I've never seen okay, so actually I have a vlog over on my channel. It's about 3 or 4 years old, and it's when I visited the heart of Australia, the Red Rock. In the middle of Australia, we have like a huge rock, and the dirt, the sand, everything's red. And I went there about 3 years ago, and I did come across a snake and a few different creatures, but I've never been hurt by any of them. I came across some crocodiles, but I was on a boat. And also, like, you can't be stupid, guys. Like, if you hear that there is a lot of crocodiles in a river or in a beach, like when I went to Cairns, there was this beach called, it starts with a D, and there's like, apparently there had been crocodile sightings. And then I had heard when I went on my trip to Cairns that a lady had just died 2 days before I went to before I went to Cairns, and apparently she was drunk and she died by being mauled to death by a crocodile. So, you know, it's very unfortunate that happened to her. I'm really sorry that she died, but also, why are you camping and getting drunk on a beach that has crocodiles on it? So you just have to be smart. With any situation, you have to be smart. So yeah, it was really sad and kind of shocking, because that was my first ever trip. But yeah, as I was saying, if you are interested, I have heaps of vlogs. I even went to New York and the East Coast of America about 4 years ago, and I vlogged it. I kind of stopped vlogging my travels because I just started traveling so much that I just really wanted to have a holiday and not make everything about content. So I stopped my travel vlogs, but I have a bunch. If anyone wants to see them, they're there. No, I didn't go to the Grand Canyon. I basically stayed in the East Coast, New York, Philadelphia, Washington, passed through New Jersey. I can't remember if I stopped to eat anything. Delaware. What made me start YouTube was my sister. My sister was the first person that told me I should start a YouTube channel, and I started out as a beauty guru. And yeah, because, you know, I'm a makeup artist. That's one of my jobs. And so that's what I started out doing. But also, like, I'm obsessed and I love A Song of Ice and Fire and Game of Thrones. So my friend one day was like, oh, why don't you put up your reaction to it? Because that would be hilarious. And I did. And crazily, that video got so much attention that I didn't expect or like even imagine was possible. And I was covered by Canadian news. It was wild to me. And then like everyone wanted to keep seeing my Game of Thrones reactions, and so I continued on. And then I took a huge hiatus. Welcome Ron. And yeah, and there in this year, for example, like I had 5 jobs. I lost 4 of my jobs, and so I had 5 days in my week to just do anything I really wanted. And so I was like, fucking hell, I haven't seen a lot of movies. Actually, it started off as me just being really depressed and feeling sorry for myself and just watching Netflix and Stan all day. And then I just thought to myself, well, if I'm doing this anyway all day, I might as well film myself and keep myself occupied and motivated by going back on YouTube again. And I did. And I started watching Dark, which is a German series, because I love Germany and I want to move there. And I couldn't because of COVID. I couldn't move there this year, sadly. And so that's what happened. I started watching Dark, and then one of my subscribers told me to watch Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. And then I was like, you know what? There is a bunch of things I haven't watched. And including MCU. I haven't seen any of MCU, so there's a lot of content that I want to get out there and film. I haven't seen Godfather, so you know, I recently filmed my part 2 video. I still need to edit it though, so that's a task. It was so hard to do my hair. It's coming. It's coming. Yeah, Germany is fucking amazing country. Like, it's just, it's my love. I absolutely love Germany. I loved Germany, and I also, when I went to Japan, that was another country where I immediately said to myself, I want to live here. The only problem with Japan is you have to know Japanese. Like, you can't get away with not knowing the language. Whereas in Germany, everyone knows how to speak English. So it's a little bit easier. And Australia's okay, but there's just some things that I don't like about Australia, and my city in particular. I don't think that it's necessarily... I think it's important for everyone to get out of their city, to get out and see the world and experience different cultures, because it opens up your mind and really just I encourage everybody to travel, meet different people from different cultures. If you feel like you are ignorant on certain things, that is the best way to open up your mind and learn from the people that you meet. And that's what I absolutely love about traveling, because I learn something new from the people that I meet all the time. Yeah, too many people are born and die in the same corner of the world. And Australia's I'm grateful to be in Australia, don't get me wrong. I love Australia. But do I like my government? No, I don't. Do I... and we have 4 more years with my the prime minister that I have right now. Do I like the way the city was made? Do I like how everything is so far away? Do I like how half of my family is on the other side of the world? Do I like how I'm on a completely different time zone to the rest of the world? No, I don't like that. I also don't like Australia's probably less racist than some of the other countries, but it's still quite racist, and it's still, and you can see that particularly in the media. And yeah, the Australian media is very, very, very racist. And we had a not a royal commission, but a study into the Australian media, and they found that pretty much 90 or over 90% of Australian media was just white presenters, white journalists. Basically, anyone that has to be on camera was white. And like that's actually different. In America, they have like I think they're more progressive over there. Australia is a relatively new country. It's like 200 years old ish, so it's extremely racist towards Indigenous Australians who have lived here for over 30,000 years. And there was a genocide here, which not many people know about. And to this day, the Indigenous people of Australia are still mistreated. And, you know, we're quick to kind of look at America and criticize them for their issues. But here in Australia, we have our own issues as well. So there's a lot of things that I don't like about Australia. There's a lot of things I love about Australia. Example, free healthcare, the beach. I don't love the bushfires. I don't love how hot it is all the time. Yeah, I don't want to seem like I'm complaining, but I'm very well traveled, so I know and I can kind of compare each thing that I like. And yeah, so I kind of like to, I never really made a decision on where I wanted to live until I kind of explored quite a few different places and made that decision for myself. So hopefully next year when we can, because Australia can't really travel at all, hopefully I'll be able to move to Europe. And that's my goal. It's the really amazing thing is that when I was applying for jobs in the beginning of this year to move to Germany, come to Canada, it's America, but with healthcare, not too many guns. I actually have family in Canada, so I could move there if I wanted to, but I've never been to Canada, not even to visit. I love the Canadian people, all of them that I have met during my travels. Every Canadian I've met has been absolutely wonderful and nice and lovely. So before, basically I didn't know Twitch. Yeah, I do live near a highway. I do. Unfortunately, it's a problem that I have to deal with a lot. And it fucking sucks because there are road noises. And before I got these noise cancelling headphones, I was constantly distracted. Welcome. Anyway, sorry, I was answering a question. Costa Pava says, which streamer do you watch? Yeah, so before I came back on YouTube, I actually didn't really know what Twitch was. I did know it existed, but I hadn't seen the platform before because I hadn't actually gone on it myself. And so I kept getting comments on YouTube. You look like Sweet Anita. You look like Sweet Anita. Has anyone ever told you you look like Sweet Anita? And so I kept getting comments like that. And so I just decided, okay, I'm going to check out this Sweet Anita. And I Googled her and she was a Twitch streamer. And so I was like, okay, let's check her out. And I did. And I thought she was really, really entertaining. And so I started watching her and I absolutely fell in love with her, especially because at the time I was dealing with some harassment online, specifically on Patreon, where these two men were quite, they were harassing me. And so when she was talking about stalkers and when she was talking about simps or whatever else, I completely related to her. And so that's how I discovered Twitch, and she's currently still the only person I watch. Yeah, those people who were harassing me have been blocked on everything now, and it's been months, and I haven't had that kind of stress since. And yeah, so to answer your question, Costa Pava, what streamer do I watch? I watch Sweet Anita whenever I can. I mainly just watch her YouTube videos, so I don't really tune in on Twitch because of the time differences. And yeah, so I watch her. I don't think Sweet Anita would ever notice me because she has like 1 million followers. But people like on Twitter, the other week, someone tagged her and me in the same post, and they were like, "Sweet Anita, you have an Australian twin, and it's Mary Cherry." And I was like, "What?" And so I looked at it and I was like, "Oh, that's funny," because like a person actually tweeted both of us, and then he was like, "You come up on my recommendations when I search Sweet Anita," and I was like, wow, people must be saying I look like Sweet Anita that much in the comment section that my videos are actually coming up for people when they search Sweet Anita. So yeah, it was quite funny because it's been months now that I've been getting comments like that.
Welcome, friend.
Welcome, Trent_King. Currently it is we're going through a thunderstorm like lightning thunder at the moment, so that's what's happening outside. If you can hear any noises, that's what it is. What scars? Oh, a YouTube news channel. I don't know. What's my go-to character? So for me, I love music, so I know a lot of lyrics to a lot of songs, and I'm always singing. Like I remember, because I was I'm going to talk about my travels again, but when I was traveling, I was alone the whole time, so I just keep myself entertained by singing to myself while I was walking. I've watched Supernatural, but it gets really repetitive. One of them always die in the season final, and the season premiere is always about trying to get them back to life. So I kind of stopped at season 12 or 13, I want to say. I had to ban trolls for my friends and video games. Yeah. Nightwish, no, I don't. The Office, me and my mum tried to start it, but then we stopped. Okay guys, I think I'm gonna wrap up the stream. I think I'm gonna wrap it up because I actually do have to watch Avatar. It's been a while, and I do need to eat. The last thing I ate was some wafers and some tea, and then before that I had breakfast at around 7:30 a.m. and it's currently 4:30 p.m. Oh my god. Okay, that was kind of weird. Alright, anyway. That was my first experience with a message like that. Okay. Okay, thank you for joining. Thanks for talking to me. Thanks for 1,000 followers. Thanks to all the new subscribers. If you did subscribe just then, make sure you check out the Discord channel, because you do have Discord benefits as a Twitch subscriber. So yeah, thank you all so much for joining. It was really lovely to chat with you all, and I hope I can do more of these just chatting streams. Like, aside from my Red Dead Redemption 2 playthroughs, I want to do more just chatting, and maybe I can do it after my Red Dead Redemption streams. I'm definitely not going to play KOTOR 2 anymore, so yeah, because that was a real bad fail, and I just need to fix my settings now and make sure I'm back to normal with my settings. So yeah, thank you so much for joining, and I will see you guys on Saturday for my Red Dead Redemption stream, which starts at 9 a.m. AEDT. That's Australian Standard daytime. So please go and convert the time to whatever area you're in, and I'll see you on Saturday. Thank you all so much for joining, and I'll see you then. Take care. Bye.